This is a Sports Catastrophe production. Hey there, hi there, hello there. It's Jeff Cutter Diamond. Welcome you to another Sports Catastrophe on this day. And on this day, July the 9th, 1977, one of the greatest British Opens of all time had ended. It was at the Elisa Course at Turnberry in Scotland, the 106th British Open. It was a huge battle and all that. This was the first Open held at Turnberry in the British Open thing. It was a battle royal between Tom Watson and Jack Nicklaus. Watson won the Masters green jacket earlier in 1977, and they would battle again in the final few rounds of the British Open. Anyway, the Americans were huge. 11 out of 12. 11 of the top 12 were Americans and all of that. So, anyway, this was a huge matchup and all of that. In the first round, John Schrader of the U.S. was the leader at 4 under par. Martin Foster of England -3. Jack Nicklaus, Lee Tribunal, Tom Watson would be tied for third. With Seve Ballesteros and Johnny Miller tied for sixth at -1. George Burns, Ray Floyd, Hale Irwin, among others, tied for ninth. In the second round, Roger Maltby put up a 66 to take the lead with 3 under par. With Hubie Green, Jack Nicklaus, Lee Trevino, Tom Watson behind by a stroke. Peter Butler and Mark Hayes were at -1. Seve Ballesteros, Ben Crenshaw, George Burns were at even par. No amateurs qualified. In the third round, Lightning suspended play. But anyway, Jack Nicklaus and Tom Watson were at 7 under par and were in the final pairing. Ben Crenshaw was third at 4 under par. Tommy Horton of England, Gaylord Burrows, and Roger Maltby all were at 1 under par. Now, this was unusual because usually golf tournaments start on a Thursday and end on a Sunday, but it was Wednesday to Sunday. It was Saturday. I believe it was because of the religious thing and all that. But regardless, the final round was huge. Watson and Nicklaus were paired for the third round and all that. And both did well with shooting a 65 for a 500 par to go to 700 par, 3 shots ahead of Crenshaw. So they were paired for the final round on the Saturday afternoon. Nicklaus was actually up by 3 strokes after 4 holes after a pair of birdies. However, Watson would birdie 3 of the next 4 to pull even, and then would fall by 1 stroke with bogey in the 9th hole to fall 1 back at the turn. Nicklaus would go 2 strokes ahead at the 12th, but Watson birdied 13 and 15 with a gigantic putt on 15, especially to tie up everything. Remember, they were tied after 3 rounds. After halving the 16 pars, it was on to the par 5 17, where Nicklaus missed the green to the right, but chipped his third to 4 feet from the cup, which was practically a gimme birdie, if you will. Watson would miss his eagle putt, tapped in for birdie, but then Nicklaus, for some strange reason, missed his 4-foot shot and had to settle for par, and Watson would have the 1-stroke lead headed to the 18th. Watson looked good in the fairway on his drive, but Nicklaus went right and into the rough. Watson's 7-iron approach was perfect and 2 feet left of the flag. And it looked like Watson was going to win this easily. However, Nicklaus surprised everyone by having a recovery shot onto the front of the green, and from 35 feet away would hit a remarkable birdie and a 66. The only problem was that Watson's shot was from birdie putt was from 2 feet away, and a lot of people can make 2-foot birdies. So Watson, if he didn't have his knee buckled, it would be a playoff. However, Watson sunk the 2-footer. He got a 65, winning his second British Open, third major title, and actually did quite well and all of that. So anyway, at the end, Watson was 12 under par, Nicklaus 11 under par. But the funny thing is, third place was Hubie Green, and he ended up at 1 under par. So Watson and Nicklaus, with their 4th round shots, were better than Hubie Green, like in all 4 rounds. Lee Trevino would take fourth. George Burns, not the actor but the golfer, alongside Ben Crenshaw, took fifth. Tied for fifth. Arnold Palmer seventh. Ray Floyd eighth, and a tie for ninth between John Schrader, Mark Hayes, Johnny Miller, and Tommy Horton. So Watson had done it. It was unbelievable. Watson and Nicklaus. Nicklaus had a 3-stroke lead after 4 holes, but couldn't hang on to it. He had the lead until that 17th hole when he fatally missed that 4-foot birdie putt. It would have been a tie going to 18. It was amazing and all of that. This actually would be huge. As Turnberry the next year would actually change their 18th hole name to do the Duel in the Sun, to reference it. So it was fun and all that for the British Open and all of that. So that was huge and all of that. So yeah, it was a huge one and all that. I don't know when they decided to finally change the British Open to have it on a Sunday finish. But yeah, the Duel in the Sun was just amazing for golf fans across the pond. And to see two great golfers like Watson and Nicklaus battle tooth and nail for a championship, it just made it everything worthwhile. Anyway, I'm Jeff Diamond. I do